Hello students, in this video we are going to discuss a new chapter. We are going to start with a new chapter in this video, and that is going to be the 7th chapter in your class 10 NCERT Maths textbook. So this will be the introductory video where we will be covering the first concept under this coordinate geometry. So before we get into the main concept, so what do we know about coordinates? So we generally would have learned to draw in the graphs where you represent some point as x comma y. So if this value is going to be 2 and this value is going to be 3, you would write this as 2 comma 3, where you can say 2 is the x coordinate and 3 is the y coordinate. Okay. So this x coordinate is nothing but the distance of the point from the y axis. So from the y axis, if you see, this point is at a distance of 2 units. So thus we can say that the x coordinate is 2. Similarly, from the x axis, when you measure the distance, then here it is going to be 3 and this will be your y coordinate. Now do you understand what is an x coordinate and y coordinate, children? Yes. So for this there are other words called abscissa and ordinate. Abscissa and ordinate. The x coordinate is called the abscissa and the y coordinate is called the ordinate. If you feel like you'll forget this, I'll just tell you a simple way to remember. See, after x only we will have y. Similarly, after A only we will have O. So for X it is going to be A for abscissa and for Y it is going to be O for ordinate. If you remember it in this way, you will never forget it, children. Is it clear? Okay. So this is how you will calculate the distance of a point from the X axis or the Y axis. From the Y axis it is going to be X coordinate or abscissa, and from the X axis it is going to be the y coordinate or the ordinate. Okay. Now what if you get a point on the x axis or on the y axis? If you are going to get a point on the x axis, it means that this y value is what? 0. It has not moved any distance in the y axis. Okay, then you can say that it only has the x coordinate and the y coordinate is going to be 0. Similarly, for this case, you can see that this is a point on the y axis. So on the y axis, when you have a point, you can see that the x coordinate is going to be 0 and the y coordinate alone is going to exist. So this is how you are going to mark the points. If in a question you are just given that a point is lying on the x axis, you should immediately write x comma 0. And likewise, if you have a point on the y axis, then immediately you should write it as 0 comma y. If you're going to do in this way, you will never forget it, children. Okay. So now we'll get into the distance formula. This is the first formula. You have only very few formulas to remember, formulae to remember in this chapter, and this is one very important formula which you will have to remember even when you go to your higher classes. Okay, and this is a very easy to remember. So here we are asked to find out the distance. Okay, for example, you have two you have 2 points. So this is a point Q and this is a point P and this is the point Q. And for P we are writing it as x1 and y1, and for Q we are writing it as x2 and y2. If we want to find the distance PQ, then this is the formula. What is the formula? You are subtracting the x coordinate and then doing a square, and you are going to subtract the y coordinates, do the square and add both the values. So we have the formula as x2 minus x1 the whole square plus y2 minus y1 the whole square. Is it mandatory that you should only do from x2 to x1? If that is the case, there might be a confusion wherein you have to calculate from q to p or p to q. Isn't it, children? So here we have p as x1, y1 and q as x2, y2. So to avoid this confusion, what I'm going to tell you now is, even if you are going to interchange the x1 and x2, even if it is going to be x1 minus x2 the whole square, you see that the value will not change. For example, we can just consider this to be a value 4 and this to be a value 5, and here also we will consider this to be value 8 and this to be a value 9. So what will be x1 comma y1? It will be 4 comma 8 and this will be 5 comma 9. Okay, so if you have to find the distance PQ, what you will do? You will do x2 minus x1 the whole square. So what will be x2 minus x1? So let's do it. So x2 is what? 5. And what is x1? 4. 5 minus 4 the whole square plus y2 minus y1. So it will be 9 minus 8 the whole square under the root. So what it will be? 5 minus 4 is what? 1. 1 square plus 1 square. So what you will get here, children? It will be 1 plus 1 under root, which will be square root of 2. Is it clear? What if I interchange this x1 and x2? We are given that we can also write. Can we interchange and check? Instead of 5 minus 4, we are going to write it as 4 minus 5 the whole square plus 8 minus 9 the whole square under root. So what will it be? 4 minus 5 is what? Minus 1 the whole square plus minus 1 the whole square. It is again going to be the same value, which is square root of 1 plus 1, which is going to be square root of 2. So now can you see, children? So however you write, you will get the same answer. Why? Because we are doing the square. So even if we have a minus here, when we do the square, it will become plus as we got in this case. So this is the way you will have to deal with this distance formula. Okay. Now, what if one point is going to be 0, 0? For example, if I want to calculate from O, okay, if I want to calculate from O till P, okay, O till P. What is O? O is 0, 0. So what will it be? x1 minus 0 the whole square plus y1 minus 0 the whole square. So minus 0, what will it become? Only x1 square plus y1 square. Is it clear, children? Since we had 2, we wrote it as 1 and 2. When we are going to take only one point, you can write it simply as PQ is equal to square root of x square plus y square. Is it clear, children? So these are the different cases under this distance formula. So what is the main formula which you need to remember? So you need to remember PQ is equal to square root of x2 minus x1 the whole square plus y2 minus y1 the whole square. We can interchange this. If it is going to be starting from 0, it is going to be x square root of x square plus y square. Is it clear, children? Yes, hope you understood this. So now you can start trying to solve the examples and the exercise questions given in the textbook, children. I'll also do it for you. So hope you understood this. We have these questions are all going to be very simple. So please try it, children. See you again with the next video. Thank you, children.